Hey, welcome to another video. I might make a Minecraft video later. I'm not sure yet. Um, Dang, I'm tired today, guys. I don't like it. I feel bad today. But make another video. I had to do the whole schedule for all the teams, so that took a little while to do. Um, but this is the playoff bracket for this year, for the NFL playoffs. And I'm using Playoff Predictors, that website. Um, so check that out if you want to do your own. Um, but yeah, this is my playoff thing. I'm gonna try to be as realistic as I can. Try to be straight up honest. But let's get this going. Um, and some of these are kind of hard to predict because there's a lot of there's just a lot of things to happen. I want to get started with this game though. This one is hard to predict. Same with this one. Mainly because, the Browns are kind of on a good... They've been doing pretty well this year. Which, yeah, for all you Browns fans, it's kind of hard to believe, huh? But yeah, for this one, I kind of think... I mean, I don't know, dude. 2,000-yard season for Derrick Henry is kind of hard to, it's kind of hard to not vote him in, especially since look at what the Titans did last year and then now. They were worse last year and now they're playing better, as you can see with that record. But Baltimore, they had a step back. But they haven't been too bad. The reason why they stepped back is mainly because of COVID, injuries, and drama with what's his name, Earl Thomas. A lot of people say Baltimore, but I don't know. I'm gonna have to go with Tennessee on here. I think they can upset the Ravens again, especially Derrick Henry doing his thing. Which I think Derrick Henry should win MVP, but I don't know. Rodgers, he's had a really good game, so I don't know. Cleveland, Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh beat Cleveland before, but Cleveland recently in Week 17 beat Pittsburgh. But Pittsburgh had their backup quarterback playing. I don't know. Pittsburgh has a really good offense though, and if Ben Roethlisberger can do well, it's just hard. But I think Pittsburgh will take that one. Indianapolis and Buffalo. It's really hard this year to stop Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs. The defense is fairly doing okay. They need to quit letting comebacks happen, though. I think Buffalo's going to take it. Now we have the NFC. I think this one is a no-brainer. You have Tom Brady versus Alex Smith. Alex Smith in Week 17 didn't really have a good game. Two touchdowns, but 2 picks. I wouldn't call that really good. Plus with the fact that the Eagles kind of gave them the win because they're obviously tanking. So I think I would have to give it to Tampa Bay. They just been playing pretty well this year, better than that last year, obviously. And the defense has started to step up. And plus the fact that, you know, even though Washington does have a good pass rush team, the Buccaneers defense, or the Buccaneers offensive line have been pretty good. Moving on, we have Seattle and LA. I think both teams are tied with a win and a loss against each other. But Jared Goff might not be the quarterback of the future for the Rams. You know, he's starting to digress a little bit. You know, defense is playing well, but I don't think it'll be enough for. There's the statistics right there, by the way, or the standings. But you know, I just don't see. I don't see LA taking this. Aaron Donald might be, you know, doing very well in that game, but it takes more than just one player to do their thing. Chicago, New Orleans, you know, Drew Brees might be digressing. He's in his 40s, you know. Taysom Hill might not be. He's okay, but you know, when you lose to Philadelphia, that's kind of hard. But of course, Chicago, they've had their rocky situation. But then also, the New Orleans Saints, they're pretty good at choking in the playoffs. So, plus, you know, even if Nick Foles or Mitch Trubisky plays, it's kind of hard to trust either one nowadays. I'm gonna go with New Orleans just to keep it on the safe side. And then I'll go to. I don't think there will be an upset this in the wild card, except for maybe Tennessee, or unless if Cleveland wins it, and I don't know. Anything can happen though. I just don't see Washington. I think Washington's an obvious loss. Now we have Pittsburgh and Buffalo, Tennessee and KC. A rematch. Last year was a rematch with the Ravens and Titans too. So this is a rematch of the season game. Pittsburgh and Buffalo, though, they've, you know, once again, you can't. It's just hard to with how well the Bills have done this year. You really can't cut them out, you know, especially since they did beat Pittsburgh, you know, and this time it wasn't a backups team. It was the official team. But I think Buffalo can do it again. I'm voting Buffalo. You know, Josh Allen's having an MVP year. Stephon Diggs, he's having a Offensive Player of the Year kind of year. He won't get the award, but he's been playing very well. He's a top 5 receiver. And then you have it's very well in Buffalo this year. Kansas City, they take off. Couple weeks they have a bye week for the divisional. It's hard, man. It really is, because Patrick Mahomes hasn't been playing. You know, he played Atlanta, didn't play so well. He took accountability. The defense hasn't been playing very well either, except for, well, Atlanta was pretty good, but besides that, when it comes to the major teams, haven't really been doing well. And hold on, my camcorder's getting sweaty. That sucks. Okay, we're good. But you know, when you look at it statistically, you know, it's hard to stop the run. Derrick Henry, 2,000-yard season. You can't stop the dude. We didn't even get to play them this year, the Titans. And the Chiefs have lost to the Titans in the playoffs before. I don't know what happened last year, but judging to how well judging to how Mike Vrabel's been playing more on Derrick Henry, I don't know if he'd make that same mistake as he did last year in the AFC Championship game when he stopped using Derrick Henry this much. I think this time he's really going to invest in Derrick Henry. It's just so hard, you know, because the Chiefs are not that good at stopping the run. We have linebacker problems. We have defensive line problems when it comes to the ends. Frank Clark hasn't been playing as good as he was with Seattle. The secondary is starting to step up, but the secondary is out there, not in there, and you need an inside to stop the run better, especially when it comes to yardage. So this is going to be a big scoring game, you know. It's hard. It really is. Because you can't bet off Kansas City. You know. I'm gonna come back to that one. We have Seattle and New Orleans. Like I said earlier, Drew Brees is kind of digressing. I don't know if they'll have Michael Thomas with them. Alvin Kamara's doing great, but you know, it takes more than just one player to do something. The defense for Seattle is okay, and of course Russell Wilson. It's not bad. So, but I have to give the victory to Seattle. Tampa Bay and Green Bay. Game of the Bays. We saw this game in this season. Aaron Rodgers did not have a good game. But ever since that game and before that game, he's had a tremendous season. Should be MVP, but I think they'll give it to Mahomes. Depending on... It depends, though. Green Bay just is so interesting this year. Because they're so complete on offense. You know, people got mad because the Packers didn't draft receiver. But Aaron Rodgers has proven that he doesn't need a receiver to throw well. Or he doesn't need, you know, the receivers aren't that bad, you know. Devontae Adams has been insane this year. As he is every year. It's just, you know, and a lot of times in the playoffs, if a team beats them in the season, then that team will lose. Then the other team will beat them in the playoffs. I think Aaron Rodgers will have a have to win mindset. He will go all out. He will be too pissed off to lose this game, and he needs to prove something to, you know, Green Bay that he is not done, that drafting Jordan Love was a mistake. I'm going with Green Bay. Back over here, Mahomes is not done. Far from it. You can't what's that called? You can't, you know, doubt him just yet. Might have had a couple of questionable games this year. One versus Miami, one versus, you know, Falcons. Besides that, though, he's had a great season. He didn't play in Week 17. Last game he played was Atlanta, and that one was a rocky game. Kansas City should have lost that game. I'll be honest on that. But the defense stepped up though. And it's just so hard. You either have Derrick Henry or you have Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce. A lot of people are voting Kansas City. One player can't do it all. I'm going to Kansas City. Okay, the conference games. We have Seattle and Green Bay for the NFC, and Buffalo KC for the AFC. Buffalo, they've had a great year. They really have. But they did lose to Kansas City, and Kansas City has proven that they can cover Stephon Diggs pretty well. They didn't stop Diggs, but Diggs didn't completely destroy us in that game. Secondary's doing well. If we can get Snead back and Willie Gay back, then I don't think the defense can stop Mahomes and his crew. I'm going with Kansas City. Kansas City is going to the Super Bowl. Seattle, Green Bay, same thing. Rodgers going to be too pissed off. He's going to want it. Russell Wilson stepped out of the top 5 for quarterbacks. Defense has been okay, I don't think they can stop Devontae Adams. I don't think they can stop Rodgers or Aaron. I don't think they can stop Aaron Jones. I don't think, I don't know why the running back for Green Bay kind of stepped out of my mind. Seattle doesn't exactly have the best team, They had a great season, don't get me wrong. 12-4, that's pretty good. But Green Bay going 13-3, I feel like they've had a better season. And I think they're going to have a better playoff run. I think Green Bay is going to win this, and we're going to have a State Farm Super Bowl. Kansas City versus Green Bay, Super Bowl 1 rematch. This is on to how this is going to be like an offense game. Rodgers, he did very well with his interception count. Mahomes did very well too. They probably had about the same kind of season, except for the fact that Rodgers has more touchdown passes, but I think Rodgers has more interceptions. Or unless if I'm wrong, I don't know. But Kansas City and Green Bay, number 1 seeds in the Super Bowl. It's kind of hard to... It's just weird because if Tennessee were to beat Kansas City, then it would have been Buffalo. I would have voted Buffalo, and then Buffalo would have went to the Super Bowl, and I think the Packers would have won. It's just hard because both defenses will have to step up, but I think the defense for Kansas City has stepped up the most. I have to say that. You have Chris Jones, Tyrann Mathieu, Snead, L'Jarius Sneed, Willie Gay. If Frank Clark can play like he did last year in the playoffs, then perfect. We need more players to step up though, a lot more. Daniel Sorensen, he's a hard hitter. He had a great playoff year last year. He contributed a lot for the Texans. It's hard to vote out Kansas City. I think Kansas City is going to get their Super Bowl 1 revenge. And you have back-to-back Super Bowl champions. The Kansas City Chiefs win Super Bowl 55 in Tampa Bay, Florida. There is your bracket. Thank you all for watching. If you liked it, please subscribe and like and comment. Hopefully I'll be doing a Q&A. Look into my Minecraft series. I'm doing that too. And that's it. Peace to me dudes!